So, are you guys ready for your headliner for tonight?
Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, start that round of applause going right now. He's the original winner of NBC's Last Comic Standing. He is right here in Harford County, right here in Haverty Grace, the one and only. I can start the applause. The one, the only. Dat Phan!
I mean, give it up for Tom as if The Undertaker is coming out.
Yeah. Either that or Dave Chappelle.
That's an intro. Tom's getting fired up for this fucking guy.
You'd be a great wrestling manager now that you say that. Today, Dat.
It's really good to build on the momentum Tom gave you.
I know, you just let that thing all die.
Jesus Christ.
Ew.
What just happened, you guys? Just get that.
We'll give it up for Tom.
That's incredible. Give me all the comedians. That was amazing. Let's get that round of applause.
Did he get hit over the head with a brick before he walked on?
He's so confused, and this is what I'm saying: is the energy change? Like Tom was loving it, even if part of Tom thought we were being sarcastic or whatever, he was having a ball with it. He had the set of his life, you know, maybe a little different than I remember, but it was the set of his life. And Dat is like, oh, I don't know what that was. Like he's all fucking. He's about to shit on the act that went right before him too, if I remember right.
Why didn't you guys bring more people?
Yeah, right. Hey, they did everything they could, Dat. Their fucking aunts and uncles were there.
Give it for Harford County, wherever this is. Let's get that around.
Okay. I watched WAT or Watts as it's going to be now. Like, what's happening?
You watched Watts.
I watched Watts.
You got a dose of Watts up.
Yeah. Why does he always pretend he doesn't know where the fuck he is or what things are called?
That's his thing. And Carl's the one that pointed it out. I don't know if he's right, but Carl was like, I think his bit is that he's like, I don't know where I am. Where I think it's more that he's just blatantly disrespecting the towns he's going to.
I 100% agree with you.
He thinks he's bigger than all of these places.
Correct.
So he's like, oof. If I did a show where fucking 60 people went to Haverty Grace, Maryland to see me, I'd be so flattered. I don't think I could do it. Like, we can bust Tom Myers' balls all day if we want. I don't think I'm putting 60 asses in those seats in Haverty Grace. So show a little fucking respect. And meanwhile, Dad's like, who even knows where we are? Who cares?
Yeah, this was Principal Uncertainty says this was Tom's Shea Stadium. He probably hasn't slept since.
I'm not wrong in that. Maybe for me, I'm remembering it differently, but I think for Tom, and that's the goal that I said to the boys. I said, fellas, if we do our job, Tom is going to put his head on his pillow tonight thinking, I am the fucking man. And I believe that he did.
Yeah. Has his attitude and his TikToks changed since that show? Like he's more confident now?
Oh, you know what? I'd have to see that. That'd be he's wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah.
He's got a wig now and it's slicked back.
Finishes his iced coffee and just throws it on the ground.
He's always chewing gum like Norm playing Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly. The toothpick.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in Baltimore or wherever. Who cares?
I'm in, I don't know, Washington. Is it DC or state? I don't even fucking know.
Howard Grace, I had some ice cream today. Delicious. What is this place? There's a memorial. There's a vet.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, he's just going to talk about the town. He doesn't do material for most of the set because I think he was nervous about it. I think that his ego suggested certainly we couldn't be there for Tom Myers. We must be there to fuck with him in some way. When he was like an afterthought in all this.
Right. And
someone made the point. I saw this on Twitter. Someone said, do you think it's possible, like he's blocking people that leave that blind cane emoji on his Instagram now?
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's blocking people that do that.
I should check my status.
Please do. Someone said, "Do you think he had a cunty attitude because someone that listens to this show messaged him and was like, 'Hey, they're coming for you,' that sort of a thing."
No shot.
I don't think anyone would do that,
No.
but if you do, you're dead to us.
I'm still safe, by the way. Oop, a new post. So I will put the blind emoji on it right now
Thank you.
as we speak.
Yeah. A simple blind man walking with a cane. I don't know why anyone would get blocked for that, but he's blocking people apparently.
Because he remembers you and he's like, oh, fuck.
The white canes are coming for you, son.
He's into the, the Marvel people. So he might think you're Daredevil.
Hey, you better learn some different accents. If you learn the one that makes me laugh, maybe I'll.
There, praying. I'm eating ice cream. There's a harbor going. What people fishing on the pier? One is broken.
Okay, so let me describe Havre de Grace. Beautiful town. I can't speak to the whole area. The little area we were in, the strip that the Opera House is on, a lovely little section of Havre de Grace. So, I mean, I guess there was a pier not far by. There was an ice cream store, as you heard. And Dad is walking on stage like, what the heck is this town? I mean, you got a body of water and ice cream. I've never seen a town like this.
And this is coming from a guy who's living in his car right now.
Dad, where have you gone in the world? It's called iced cream. Like the stuff, is it the stuff you put in coffee? They just throw it in the freezer? I don't understand. What is this? You serve it?
But all he said was, I've eaten ice cream.
Yeah. It's crazy. He's eaten ice cream so far, and he's seen water. It's wild.
Lovely.
What the fuck is happening out here, you guys?
It's wild.
I visited.
It's me. Hey, look! Listen to who's supporting him. A very distinctive laugh.
I don't. That was somewhere. There's a Chick-fil-A out there, you guys. I learned. And a Starbucks.
We're giving it up for Chick-fil-A. I don't know. Now, remember, we're supporting Dat Phan through this because we have no idea his views on us at this point.
Right.
Or at least I did. They didn't. The boys might have heard it, but I didn't find out till after. So we're supporting him, doing our best. But he's literally saying, now we've discussed the water and the ice cream. But get this, guys, try and put yourself in that situation. And I understand now, in hindsight, if some of you were afraid to go to Havre de Grace, not only do they have water and ice cream, there was also a Chick-fil-A.
Whoa.
Try to put yourself there. I mean, who could even imagine what town is like that? It's so wacky.
Super chat from Justin says, at 4140 is where the woman asks where people are from.
Oh, okay. You want to pull that up real quick?
Yeah, give me.
That's actually interesting. If it's gonna take you a minute, you can play Dat while you figure that out. But
I'll play some Dat.
Chinese restaurant coming in 2 weeks. I think that's where Luke Skywalker grew up over there. There's no cell signal, you guys. I'm telling you right now. I was there for 2 days because I got lost. I was trying to get here. So, yeah, this is a very mixed crowd. There's
oh, here he goes.
There's a group of guys back there, and there's a group of women here. I thought this was a bachelorette party.
Oh yeah, he thinks we're colluding with the women.
Colluding with them?
I think that's what he was suggesting. He's like, there's a group. Why else would you say? He doesn't say anything. Rewind that. He goes, there's a group of guys back there, and there's a group of women here. He's referring to us and the girls that I said were laughing at similar things to us.
I think you guys laughing was making them laugh, from what my ears are telling me.
I think so too, which is why he thought we were in cahoots together.
There's a group of guys back there, and there's a group of women here.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's how every show. Imagine if you go see, pick your comedian. You go see Brian Regan this weekend, and he's like, here's an interesting observation. You guys know me for my observations. There's a group of guys back there. There's a group of, and there's a group of girls over here. Right, already Regan doing is already funnier, but
no, but Dat Phan is not in a position to describe the audience because he'll be like, all right, there's a group of guys back there, there's 3 girls over here, the rest of the seats are empty.
It's a weird thing for him to even address because the groups you were referring to were all white. So he couldn't just go into, there's a group of guys back there going, oh, he crazy. Oh my God. What's this guy?
Justin said the girls loved us. They kept looking back at Mike and I.
we were the stars of the show.
I have that timestamp queued.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I think what Justin's referring to is when someone asked where we were from, and we told her, and she was shocked to find why we were there. So this gives you a little perspective as to what the comedians knew and what they thought when we said we were, giving props to Tom Myers.
Harper County. Okay. Have disgrace.
Hold on, can I say? I mean, luckily we were there from Boston, Rhode Island, Virginia, all over the place. But if you're looking at this crowd, 60 people in Havre de Grace, Maryland, where are you from is an odd. I mean, the sheer odds that it wasn't Havre de Grace.
Next town over. Whoa.
Anybody from Aberdeen? Edgewood? No? Where the fuck are y'all from?
Boston.
Why are Boston people in Havre de Grace?
Tom fucking Myers.
I mean, come on. Is that anything other than support?
What?
Go back a little bit. Let's hear that again.
Well, I'm starting to understand where Dat Phan's coming from.
Really?
Justin.
How is this something that should get you kicked out of a comedy show?
Oh, definitely not. But him being suspicious, I might understand.
Suspicious of what, though? What were we were supporting the whole time? What were we suddenly gonna fucking pipe bomb the show? Like, what was gonna happen?
Realistically, jokes aside, what happened is Dat Phan heard that Tom Myers had people coming from the entire Eastern Seaboard, and he had no one.
That's what I'm saying. Is this all boils down to jealousy? He was upset that Tom Myers had fans there.
Exactly.
Let's hear that again. Go back.
Anybody from Aberdeen? Edgewood? No? Where the fuck are y'all from?
Boston.
Why are Boston people in Havre de Grace?
Tom fucking Myers.
Boston, a little racist, but I'm here.
We didn't care for that.
Right?
Adam Jones.
Yep.
I didn't hear that when I never heard that.
And he's like near the stage, right?
He's closer than us, yeah.
Y'all are wild as fuck. But yeah, thank y'all for coming out to the Havre de Grace Opera House. I didn't know this shit existed. How did y'all find this shit?
Tom Myers.
Tom Myers. Who here is for Tom Myers?
Every time they say his name.
This is when Dat Phan started getting jealous and realized he can't draw shit.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Oh, sure. Do I understand him thinking like, why are these guys going so crazy at Tom Myers' set? Sure. But we're not doing anything wrong.
No.
We're being a great audience.
You're laughing when you're supposed to.
Yes.
You're responding when you ask questions. You're not interrupting and ruining the flow.
Not at all.
Except for maybe Tom didn't realize he had to pause so long for laughter.
Yeah, right. The show was 20 minutes longer than they expected because we were laughing so hard.
All right. I mean, never thought I'd see it, but yeah.
Did you catch that?
Like I do. Well,
She said she's like, there's Tom Myers fans here. Never thought I'd see it, but
That's pretty funny. I don't think I truly don't think she meant that as a joke. She was
in stunned disbelief.
Yes.
CDs to roll blunts on. That's what we get.
And let's not spoil too much of the humor. Let's go back to Dat real quick.
I'm back to that.
Party, but apparently they know the black guy, which is good.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
They pirated the set. I went into the white chick. I was like, "Do you know him? You're taping him." She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, that was weird. Does she know you, or is she okay?" I was trying to get your back. I thought she was gonna fuck you over or something like that, but
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I mean, racist jokes are fine if they're funny, and they better be funny.
Right. That's just, hey, there's a black guy near you. Are you all right?
Do you need me to get the mace?
And she's like, yeah, I know. Hey, do you want me to talk to security? I've been talking to him all night.
Yeah, I'm gonna
They
first
don't do
base.
much, apparently, but
that's his posse. There's dudes back there screaming for Tom. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Cult thing happening.
Tom.
My fans are kind of scared. My fans are the ones that look like we're about to listen to Toto after the show.
What fans? He goes, my fans are kind of scared. That's the thing. There was no one there for Dad.
That's why he had to say that.
Right.
Oh, he sucks.
He's the worst. So I think we should play the rest. We'll go through that whole thing on Patreon if people are into it. Let me know if you guys want to hear more from the likes of Michelle. Where's your house key? That'll be a night. Yeah, that's actually a perfect vacation episode. So we'll hang on to that.
Yeah. Justin says, by the way, stop saying I illegally recorded this. I wasn't there. I believe Tustin sent this recording.
Oh, I didn't say. I said I was. I didn't think Justin recorded. I just said he was near the microphone.
Yeah, he was near the microphone, and I said, yeah, he's really close. And
yeah, that's how we were able to obtain it because I think Justin bumped into the guy after.
Whoever recorded it had the phone in their pocket, so we'll never know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
No, but
it's probably that.
It's
to
probably
expose us.
Yeah, he was trying to get you. You know at the end of Titanic when that guy slips the necklace in Leo's pocket. That's exactly what that did. He chucked a
That's
record.
right. That I do think is what happened. Yeah. So what we should move on to, I think, is Dat Phan's comedy school.
Oh boy, yeah.
Because maybe he can teach us a little bit about how to be a better audience. I should be going to audience school because apparently I don't know what the fuck I'm doing out there.
Yeah, how to be a better audience, how to feel comfortable on stage and how to make everything more complicated and not be self-aware. Let's figure out what he's doing.
Yeah, so I didn't know this. We recorded yesterday an episode that'll be up in a couple weeks for Why You Laughing? The brief rise and rapid fall of Dat Phan. And I didn't realize until doing research for that episode that the pandemic was most hard on Dat because it didn't only affect his gigs, it affected his side hustle. And I heard him mention teaching in this interview with some woman, Natalie Gray. She seems a little nutty, but they are talking in this interview, and Dat mentions he teaches, and I think, oh, like Stuttering John, that's pretty cool.
Oh, he's making $2,000 a week.
And I gotta say, it's rare that I say this. Stuttering John is miles more noble profession than what Dat Phan has been doing.
People are begging to pay John thousands of dollars to come on their podcast.
Yes.
Doing much better.
Significant. He's doing significantly better. But I just mean he's also doing better in the world by teaching because this is what Dat Phan is using his skills for lately.
So the pandemic hits, you're like, oh my God, I'm losing tens of thousands of dollars in tour money. And like, what?
That's debatable. Can I just say that? I haven't seen, I'd like to see the files. I'd like to see the books.
Yeah, because especially in Havre de Grace, because it's not a comedy club. It's not like, hey, we're going to pay you this. If you hit this ticket goal, we'll add to it.
Right.
It's not what's happening in this Havre de Grace.
It didn't seem like it.
And how many of those tickets were comped by family?
I'd have to imagine the majority. I think we were probably the only suckers that paid for tickets.
I wish, because you know how Dad said on his set, he was like, my fans that we were just talking.
Yeah.
I wish he asked for a round of the problem is you guys would have clapped. But if he was like, who came for me? And it was dead silence, would have been the best clip maybe of all time.
Yeah, and I don't know that we would have because we were honest in the fact that we came for Tom.
Yeah, but at that point you weren't pissed at him, and you were just
we may have given a clap of support, sure, because that's the kind of guys we were until someone spit in our face.
Bastard.
Reverse. I mean, you want to talk about stop Asian hate? Stop the Asian hate that's coming from this man. He spit at me.
Calls from your bookers going, "Hey, this tour's cancelled." Or
Or Orange County canceled
his booker. So he rolled over in bed, and she told him.
He put on a hat that says Booker.
I'd had to turn down like $5,000 gigs, like in Ohio, to go out to the university and do a show. I mean, that's for one show.
To be fair, he probably does do well in certain colleges.
Things maybe. But can I tell you? Here's a little Stuttering John thing.
Mm-hmm.
No comic tells you that. No comic tells you what they're making because A, it could affect other gigs. It could affect negotiations. Like they would like to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's just tacky. You don't announce what you're making at gigs. So that's the only reason I think Dad is lying about that. Like you said, I bet he does well with like corporates and stuff like that. Maybe
Because they see the last comic standing thing. That probably still means something to them.
yeah, I think he's safe or at least is capable of being like not cursing and stuff like that. You know, the
Mhm.
only thing that could get him in trouble is Asia. Well, unless he breaks out that black material.
Yeah.
God forbid, corporates, if you're looking to hire Dad, go for it. But, you know, maybe the black guy at the company stays home that day because Dad will have a field day. Oh, imagine if there's a black guy in an audience.
Did you ever see the clip of Ari, Big J, and Tony Hinchcliffe saying what they made at a gig on the count of 3? Did you ever see
No.
that? Oh, I need to fucking find that. They might have deleted it, but they were talking about some place that they made stupid money. And all 3 of them like, yeah, we made stupid money at that. And you guys want to like tell each other what we made? So they count to 3 and they all say what they made. Ari made 15 grand for one gig. Big J said 11 grand. And Tony Hinchcliffe says 5 and then he gets super fucking pissed.
That's funny.
That is hilarious.
That's very funny. But yeah, like sure, there are moments like that where they will talk about what they. But I'm saying in general, like especially the kind of comedian Dat Phan is, it's just tacky to be like, you know, I make 5, and then he's so unconfident in that, like he doesn't even think you're gonna believe it. That he's like, and that's for one gig. That's not for 6 months, like you probably think that it is.
College. If he does get college gigs, they pay stupid money, and same with.
No, I believe him, but it just has the elements of the way a liar talks.
He's got the same mentality, but maybe actually cashing checks.
That's certainly possible. Because I'll tell you why that's possible. Because if he's just doing these gigs, like the one I saw him at, that's not a living. I don't think
it's not enough gas money to get to the next gig.
Right? Yeah.
And like all these universities, they're canceling, comedy clubs canceling. I'm not going to Florida this year because of the thing. We haven't solved the pandemic issue yet. So like,
and Florida never recovered.
Never.
That's why they were such a mess during the pandemic. They didn't know which way they were going because they were like, a datless year? What the fuck are we going to do?
He's missed his Tampa game.
Hey, don't New York my Florida, pal. That's what those shirts meant.
Spiraling. You took 1 month after month after month, all these gigs are disappearing. And that's my primary, that's what I do. That's my main job.
Right.
What I do is I tour. You know, all this.
I want to know what his non-main job is now.
I think we're going to find out, I guess.
Auditioning, all this other stuff's extra. And then, you know, when I teach, I don't make anywhere near. When I teach stand-up, it's not anywhere near what I make when I tour, obviously. I can't charge this too much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention and eyes forward for Mr. Phan.
I want to see a show, right? Be like, this is a student of Dat Phan. He just comes out and starts calling people the N-word.
Oh, you're black? You must be a criminal.
You must have stolen the door.
And now I'm trying to teach, but the thing is, I can't even have the students like meet them where? I can't meet them at a comedy club.
Right.
I know it's a
So now-
struggle that students around the country are going through, really.
He
A
can't
lot
meet
of them were thinking, hey, you know, we just got kicked out of our dorms. Our education has been put on pause. Dat Phan can't teach us how to be hilarious. What else? COVID, will you stop at nothing?
like how Dat Phan's like, we can't go. I can't teach at comedy clubs because of the proximity thing. It's just the clubs he's used to are like the size of a shed.
He's just in a tweed jacket writing on a chalkboard. Here's how you be funny. What is that possible? Well, I did watch Rich Voss be funny for a year on Last Comic Standing. You could talk about that.
This is what Rich did.
Here's what, and now here's what, and here's how Ralphie May would have told that joke.
Oh, I can't even bring them to my home because we'll be in the same proximity. I don't know what they've been exposed to. So now, luckily for me, when I have spare time, I teach via Zoom.
How about it would be weird? How about that as a reason? I can't bring these strangers into my home, but because they probably wouldn't want to do that.
It's probably a 1-bedroom apartment.
If just some guy posts online, I'm teaching comedy classes. Hey, you want to learn how to be funny? Come to my house.
No,
thank you.
I'd rather learn from Mike Morse.
Much rather learn from Mike Morse.
And it's great. I mean, it's not the same. And this is what I'm saying a little.
Well, I mean, that was an immediate reality check by him.
It's great.
It's great. I mean, it's not perfect, I guess, but
But who's like, who has aspirations to be a comic and goes, I need to learn from Dat Phan.
I think a lot of people with a lot of money and a lot of comedy chops. I think those are the makings.
Yeah.
I think you need to be loaded, obviously, to afford such a privilege. But I think you need to be, 90% of the way there, and you just bring in Dat for that last 10. How do I really make it?
Polish me up, baby.
Because of my Shaolin Kung Fu background, when I and I use
Rewind, please. What? I'm sorry. What?
Because of my Shaolin Kung Fu background.
Okay. Hold on. Go back even further because I want to make sure. Obviously, the subject changed and we missed it. She's like, "How do you teach Kung Fu, Dad?"
This.
And he was like, "Oh, that's easy."
And it's great. I mean, it's not the same. And this is what I'm going to sound a little kooky. Because of my Shaolin Kung Fu background, when I trained in San Diego, and I use Shaolin martial arts philosophy in my comedy, I teach energy transfer. I teach energy transfer through.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You guys had the energy up in the room. He entered and it energy transferred to a different county.
I think he must have sensed bad energy in the room. Ooh, this is Tom Myers energy. What is this?
Oh, fun stinks. Boo, get out of here.
That is, I hear all the greats, like in that Talking Funny thing with Chris Rock and Louis and Seinfeld and Ricky Gervais. All the greats really talk about transferring energies. And by the way, that's something guys at their level can talk about and get away with it.
Right.
Because you've reached a level where you can be a little pompous. But I mean, saying, hey, I was on a thing 20 years ago, and the knowledge I accrued from that told me I should focus on transferring energy before I think about writing a new joke.
And I do that when we're in the same room, but I can't teach transfers of energy very well through a screen.
Right.
She's like, what the hell?
I tried leaving some of that in because she was even.
So the pandemic hits, you're like, oh my God, I'm losing.
I accidentally restarted that one, but like she's just I think she's trying to get through this.
She's a little kooky. I think she spends a lot of time just talking about herself. So my take on it was this lady, Natalie Gray, is just nodding while he speaks to get to a point where she can be like, well, here's my thing.
She also has crazy eyes.
She's a kook from what I've seen here.
She looks like she's trying to transfer some energy into Dat Phan by way of death.
All right, what's next?
He's a master at this. This is about comedy timing.
Okay, good. Now we're being brought to school, folks. I hope you got your notepads out, your 3-ring binders. Number 2 pencils, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Yep, I'll give you guys all 3 more seconds to get those things collected.
Yes, get your rulers out because this is not going to be a lesson in joke writing. You might think we're going to comedy school. We're going to need to write some jokes.
Mm-hmm.
No. You need think more protractors and calculators.
Yes, and graphs, lots of graphs.
But Shaolin Kung Fu is what
I keep forgetting we're making slight references to the Why You Laughing that'll be out in 2 weeks.
Well, but even what he's talking about. Hey, just imagine asking like, hey, Andrew Dice Clay, how'd you get to be so funny? And think of him starting an answer like this.
But Shaolin Kung Fu is what I got into later on.
Oh, really? Of course. You studied Kung Fu. Joe Rogan doesn't even talk like this.
No.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, he's like, I could make you laugh or I could kick your head off.
Yeah, they're 2 separate entities.
Yeah. They have nothing to do with each other.
But here's the thing. I'm sure Rogan probably does make analogies like between like training for MMA and like getting ready for a show or something like that. I'm sure he's done that. But Rogan's playing arenas.
I was gonna say it's working. Clearly, this kung fu crossover is not working for Dat.
But not even that it's working. Rogan has made hundreds of millions of dollars in his career now, and has time to waste being a little pompous and arrogant if he so chooses. Dat Phan doesn't have that kind of time to waste. It should all be that energy that he's referring to. Put it into something. Dat, go outside of your comfort zone. Try and just meditate for a moment and think joke writing. That should be your mantra. Joke writing. Joke writing.
What's that?
But Shaolin Kung Fu is what I got into later on in life. What I learned from stand-up comedy compared to martial arts, after 25 years of studying stand-up comedy, I learned that all of comedy boils down, and it's going to be very controversial. Other people are going to say that I'm crazy for saying this.
Oh, you're crazy.
I believe that a lot of comedy boils down to transferring energy.
Oh my God.
My God.
I'm going to pause while you all write that down.
Great mother of God, it was right in front of me all along.
Transfer. No shit.
Yeah, the transfer of you tell a joke and it shifts over to the audience laughing.
She's like,
This is not, it's not fucking brain surgery you're prepping for, Dad. I don't know what you're doing here.
Natalie, you're not going to believe this. It took me 25 years of studying stand-up, but if I say something, I should be making everybody laugh.
I was thinking, and this comes from my kung fu background, that what should be happening in a comedy club is the energy is on me where I'm talking. And then when I pause, the energy should be filling the room with laughter. And I just stumbled upon that really after 20 years in stand-up.
I thought I was supposed to. I initially just went on stage, looked at someone, and said everything I hate about their kind of people.
It makes Dat's career make a lot more sense that 20 years in, he's like, wait a minute, laughter. That's it.
I thought
laughter should be filling the room. I've got it.
See, if he had that kind of energy or thought process, he could have been a great all-time slam poet, maybe.
Yeah, certainly. Well, we cover it in the future episode of Why You Laughing. But Dat's main flaw is he's thinking about everything except writing a joke. he is throwing everything against the wall. He's getting wrenches and table saws out and every tool in the shed, except he's missing one key ingredient, and that's laughter. He's fresh out of laughter, unfortunately.
It's energy dancing back and forth.
Yeah.
Is what it really is.
You shut the fuck up.
And you got to have it timed properly. If you don't transfer the energy,
No, get the fuck out. Wait, is timing a part of this, Dat? Guys, write this down. Holy shit.
And judging by what I've seen lately of his stand-up, he doesn't know that yet.
Dat, how much am I paying you for this? Because I'd like to double it, please.
You changed my life.
Hey, Dad, don't give all the good stuff away for free. You got to make a living if you've got this kind of a secret. Supply and demand.
You say something that the crowd laughs at, and you pause to let them laugh.
I wonder, and it's a shame we'll never know because he's no longer with us. I wonder if guys like George Carlin knew about this secret. Because imagine, he was pretty good, but at the end of his career, he got a little philosophical. If someone was like, hey, George, let me throw this at you. And then they just read on the chalkboard the word laughter. And George is like, oh, shit, that's interesting.
You know, I learned timing and pausing, and I actually added 10 to 15 minutes.
Timing, what's that? He just interrupts him. No, George, don't you get it? Hold on a second.
It's like knock, knock. Before you can say who's there, they just scream the answer.
Where the comedians stumble on top of the audience.
That's their Rocky montage.
Yeah.
It's that music and Dad going, all right, guys, the chicken is on one side of the right. Quiet. No. Hold on. You're too excited.
Instead of punching meat hanging in a freezer, it just cuts to Patrice O'Neill burying him.
And then now there's all sorts of problems as far as the rhythm not being in place. But comedic timing, punchline, delivery, energy, all of it is transferring into comedic.
Dad, you're throwing so much at us. Slow down. Delivery's part of this too?
This is unfucking believable that this guy who won Last Comic Standing is saying this right now.
Wait, so far we've got you want the energy to be good. You want timing, and now good delivery. That's three things. That's too much for me to remember. That's a lot.
Well, actually, someone pipes in, Dad, it's actually the comedy rule of 3. What?
What? Slow down. That's the next lesson. We can't pack it all into one day. Maybe that's why when you see comics up there with notebooks, they have to write that all down. Wait, timing. Remember your timing. And remember, I bet delivery is in bigger letters because that's probably more important.
Jokes is underlined.
No, jokes is crossed out. You don't even need that.
Yeah, fuck those.
Is what it really is. I mean, there's little formulas and all that stuff, but if you learn the scientific formulas and you don't understand the transferring of energy, that's where you're in troubled waters with stand-up comedy, in my opinion.
And now he's just ripping off Richard Pryor, who said you got to get the formulas down.
This guy is the fucking worst. He should have been thankful that there was laughs at his show.
Imagine the brilliant comics we wouldn't have if they went to Dat Phan's comedy school. If fucking Shane Gillis was focused on formulas and energies.
Well, maybe he did before he got fired from SNL.
Well, yeah, maybe. Hey, be as racist as you can.
Next we got, God damn it, reactions.
I think Shane would have failed though, because Dad would be like, "No, Shane, the impression you're doing isn't hacky enough. It won't be obvious to people that you're doing a hack impression."
Here, I'll teach you how to do my hack Korean grandma.
Vietnamese.
Whatever.
So, at what point did you figure out for yourself the?
Can I tell you what's happening in Natalie's head now? This is a few minutes into the interview, and she's like, "I got nothing to ask this fucking guy."
She's like, "What the fuck?"
You're Asian? Is that right? Is that something? Riff on that for a while.
That's not a hoax, right?
Energy with comedy, was it right off the back?
No.
So it took a while?
I didn't really fully understand it when I was competing in Last Comic Standing and I won. I still
mention that again, Dad. Were you in a show?
Last Comic Standing stares at camera.
We only remember it because you keep mentioning it to us. I wouldn't have even thought of Last Comic Standing if it wasn't for you.
No one thinks of Last Comic Standing.
Oh. And season one is the reason that show was never respected, because this guy won.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be bragging. You ruined a potential brand.
Ralphie May and Rich Voss were on that season.
Legends in comedy.
I thought I did, but I didn't. The time I started realizing about this, what we're talking about, transferring of energy, is when I started teaching. Because when I started teaching stand-up, it's like teaching martial arts.
And no, folks, I am not playing the same clip I just played.
It's exactly like teaching. Yeah, he's really giving us the inside dope on the teaching biz. It's exactly like he's like Conor McGregor's trainer, basically. That's essentially what he has ascended to.
Right. He's a cut man in the corner of the room.
Not only for me to do it, I had to get the student to do what I'm trying to communicate to them. And
how do I reach these kids?
There's this thing I suck at, and that's communicating.
I gotta say, it's been a little bit of a hindrance in both my teaching and comedy careers. I'm not a great communicator. I'm not good at making points into relatable things that people can digest and take the way I would like them to. I'm not good at that, really.
Way that can get it across to most students is when it comes down to energy being transferred.
He got it confused if he was doing his mother or him there.
He's talking about communicating and everything and just fumbles the word energy.
It's crazy. And I even prove it to the students. I go, look, I'm going to do a certain way. I'm going to pause here. And even though you're trying not to laugh, I will either get you to laugh or I'll get you to react somehow. 90% of the time.
So, all right, I'm going to pull out a gun.
They all scream and leave.
Now, whether you're laughing or not, you are reacting.
He pauses and just shits himself, and everyone's like, ew.
He just pulls out a finger from one of his prior students. He's like, now this is a reaction. I promised you one thing, and that was reactions.
They actually reacted to whatever joke, structure that I'm telling them, if it's done a certain way.
So
I like that he just wanted reactions. Well, Tom, I keep doing that. Dad, what the fuck do you think we were doing at your show? We were reacting to you, you arrogant cunt. Hey, maybe if I don't get him to laugh, I'm going to get him to react in some way. We wouldn't have done that if we weren't just trying to help you out. Like I didn't know when the jokes were for, and there's going to be, when we go through that whole thing, there's going to be a lot of times where you don't hear me laugh. It's not for lack of effort. It's because I didn't realize the joke was over. And Dad has a few of those himself.
Oh, he sure does. Let's continue here.
What's the next one? I forget what I titled these. I don't know if they give me any hints to what they are.
This is eye contact and delusion equals success.
Well, first of all, part of this feels directed at me. It feels a little personal. But we're gonna realize more of the key formulas. So far you've got something we never knew. Timing and delivery make for good stand-ups. If you got those down, you're well on your way. That's worth
nuts.
That's worth the $200 an hour he's probably charging.
Timing. What? Let me grab my checkbook.
That's legitimately like if on your first day at Carnegie Hall, they were like, you know how you get here? Practice, practice, practice.
He's basically Henry.
We'll see you guys next week.
He's Henry Winkler on Barry.
Yes. Yeah. He's Gene. What the fuck's his name? I can't think of it. Cusimano. Gene Cusino. That's it.
Cusino. Wrong show.
While you're saying the joke, though, what's going on in your head or your body? Like, what is this magic formula? Or is it something that's so secret you can't talk about?
No, it's not.
Is it, Dad? I mean, if you can share this, are you going to be kicked out of Hogwarts if you reveal this?
Where am I with a super sticker from New Zealand?
Whoa, this show's going international, baby.
International.
But the best way I could put it is, one, a lot of the energy transfer has to do with eye contact.
Oh my God.
As a matter of fact, I have a camera.
Hold the phone. Why aren't you pausing in stunned disbelief? We have added eye contact to the list. So now he's just read like how to succeed in business.
Oh no, he's physically explaining it now. We start talking. This is unbelievable.
Yeah. And here's what eye contact is. It's when you look at someone.
You know what this is?
Has to do with eye contact. As a matter of fact, I have a camera that's right in front of your face. So when I'm staring at your face, I'm staring right into the camera right now.
What?
Your head is behind the camera, literally.
Okay. Oh, I don't even know what to believe. This was all orchestrated, Dad. I feel cheated.
This is unreal that he thinks this is like philosophical.
I think it's worth every penny so far. So you're telling me make eye contact. I guess I'm fucked. Maybe that's why Dad didn't want me there, is he couldn't make eye contact with me. Where's this goofy guy looking? Every which way.
He doesn't want to look at me.
You know, a lot of people, the camera's up above.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing because your eye line is pretty good. So you trained yourself, instead of looking at my face, you train yourself to looking kind of at the camera, right? Or in that direction.
I mean, for me, of course, on my screen, I'm looking into your eyes and you're just a little probably below my actual webcam.
So she's like, no, I'm not doing that, actually.
No
it's
one
kind of just
gets
a happy accident.
Fucking loser.
See, even your instincts is to look into my eyes, even though that's not what.
Because we're human beings, you fucking idiot.
Also, I gotta say, I don't even know if eye contact does fit one of the rules of comedy, because it shouldn't just be one person in the audience.
Have you ever walked up to someone, turned your back to them, and said, "Hey, how's it going?" No.
Yeah, Dat read a book on how to succeed in business or something. Next thing he's gonna, another key of comedy, a firm handshake.
I'm gonna do I'm looking backwards right now. I'm gonna do the rest of the show like this. Does this work?
I think one of the pillars of success in comedy is making sure your resume is polished and doesn't look old. You don't want the audience to think like, why has he got Wendy's when he was in high school listed on there? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So I believe that is definitely one of the main part of energy transfer when you're doing stand-up comedy. Like I said, a lot of people would think I'm nuts for saying what I'm saying right now, but yet,
no, Dad, I think you're fucking batshit. You're not just nuts, my friend.
You're well past that.
What? He's saying in a way, we think he's insane because he's gouging people for these horrible classes. But what he's saying when he's like, you guys are gonna think I'm nuts, that's like, the fun aunt at your holiday party being like, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I had 2 bowls of ice cream last night. Oh, was I? Whoa. Oh my god, was I naughty?
Wow.
He's saying in a way like, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but can you believe what I did?
how far I got. in stand-up comedy.
I know.
Whoa. We got to rewind. How far did you get? He must be saying you guys must be embarrassed by how far I got in stand-up comedy.
Even
Oh,
though
for
that's
sure.
not what the camera is.
Yeah, for sure.
So I believe that is definitely one of the main part of energy transfer when you're doing stand-up comedy. Like I said, a lot of people would think I'm nuts for saying what I'm saying right now, but yet I'm look how far I got in stand-up comedy.
I know.
I'm doing Havre de Grace, and I drew no one to the show.
I have made it all the way to Havre de Grace. Don't you understand? I got in my car and drove from San Diego to Havre de Grace with a Florida pit stop in the middle.
And the headliner in the hearts of the audience opened and hosted the show.
That would be douchey if Dave Chappelle said it.
But at least he'd be right.
Chappelle does some of those things where he's got the C on his sleeve now and all that shit. Where I'm like, that's a little douchey, but he is one of the greatest ever. So you give him a little pass. This is last comic standing winner of season 1, saying, "Look how far I got in comedy. I peaked at 26 and never got another opportunity after that."
I want a show where Ralphie May slept on a bunk above me.
They hoped it fell on me. That was the show.
And you'll see more of that when we do the Why You
Keep
Laughing.
an eye out for Why You Laughing.
Got to be something that I'm doing here that's working, and I use the same technique on the audience.
Whoa.
I use it during the Zoom shows. That's why I have 3 monitors here when I'm doing Zoom, so I could monitor the people and look right at whoever I'm talking to.
Right.
Their heads must spin. How is he still making eye contact with me?
Fucking shut up. Oh my God, he stinks. This is awful.
That's how you know a respectable stand-up comedian when they talk about the Zoom setup for when they're doing stand-up.
Every comic is like, I fucking hate Zoom. I tried it just to see, and it fucking sucks. And he's like, I bought like a whole setup for it.
That's what those guys like Nick Mullen, Tim Dillon, Big J, and Shane did a mini tour recently where they were playing like massive venues. And they were like, there's a lot of seats here, but like, are the people watching on Zoom going to be okay? Or am I going to be making eye contact with them? It's very important for big stand-up shows.
Yeah, people leave. You know, they do exit interviews after new movies sometimes, or they used to. They'd be like, yeah, I thought Nick Mullen was great, but he didn't look me in the eyes.
Well, and I always say Nick Mullen's better on Zoom.
Yeah.
If you're watching him, you really get his genius if you're watching on Zoom.
Yeah. Who looks at the camera? Thank you. I know it wasn't a super chat, but that's a great point. Because I'm looking at you on my screen. My camera's like up here. It's a completely different spot.
I'm sure it probably looks like I'm almost looking at you. It's not that difficult.
it's fucking stupid. This is a great title. I'm looking forward to it. It's called Prolific.
Well, the guy, I mean, he's been around for 20 years, so it's important to realize just exactly what he's done in this business.
See, Mike, you just went and cut him like 5 years short. That's just not fair.
I'm 25. I'm sorry, quarter century.
So what's going on though with the, I mean, what are you doing? Have you sort of said a little mantra to yourself before a show? Like, where's the energy coming from?
Well, please tell us, Dad. Will you tell us where it comes from? Pretty please.
I know we've been doing this energy thing for the last 7-8 minutes of this podcast, and you clearly still haven't explained it. So I'm going to try to get it out of you one more time.
You've just been saying the word energy over and over again.
I think it's coming from the heart and it's coming from the brain. I really believe that a lot of
Yeah, it actually comes from when you get a good night's sleep and you wake up refreshed.
Dad, do you believe in God? What the fuck are we talking about?
Oh man.
Did you know that when I do stand-up, like when you saw me do the same thing, I never do the same set twice.
What? Hold on.
That's not good, you idiot.
Hold on. First of all, it's not true. But he's trying to have a brag where he's like, I mean, he's Robin Williams. He just goes out. He doesn't even know what's coming out of his mouth. He just goes up there and riffs, you know? What's it called? A stream of conscious?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he does. Now, it just so happens.
He's calling it in the ring.
It just so happens that it's mostly him impersonating his mother saying Asian stereotypes. It's weird how it's just accidental, but it is just kind of free flowing, you know?
U.S. aircraft carrier nails.
Don't you guys know? Hey, guys, this will be on Why You Laughing. Aren't you guys sick of when you go by these nail salons and they have such American names, such as Iraq, U.S. Bin Laden nails? That's a relatable joke, right?
Iraq War, Bin Laden, Navy SEALs killed him nails.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So who's relating to this? Who's this for?
I never do the same identical set twice. There's times where I'm just making it up right there as
Get
we're
out of
going
town.
because I'm speaking from the heart and I'm communicating right to the people and using the people as variables that are watching. Oh, this person's from Oklahoma. This person's from Nebraska. That person from Southern California. They think this way. And I start connecting to them and asking questions. And
I gotta say, he was in Havre de Grace, Maryland. Half the audience was from out of state, and he had no questions for us. We were a group of people. The loudest ones there yelled Boston, Rhode Island, and Virginia. And he's like, "All right, no, nothing to mine here. Nothing to figure out what's going on."
He spent the 4 hours before his set just Googling fucking Havre de Grace facts to just
And here's the
bury
thing:
people.
you guys heard the tape. You heard we were being respectful. But even let's say we weren't. You can't have fun with that. You can't figure out that we're, quote, incels that are here for Tom Myers and make that into something fun. Because it was all crowd. He just kept saying, like, where are you from? And they'd be like, the next town over. And he'd be like, I don't even know where that is. And we'd all go, Dat, come on, you crazy character.
Yeah, he wanted to say that this show is in Baltimore, but Tom Myers just wouldn't allow it.
No. Tom Myers is loyal to Havre de Grace, baby.
I know I'm kind of oversimplifying what I'm saying, but it's
No, that is one thing you are not doing.
No, you're actually making it way too difficult, Dat. Just say, hey, guys, I'll save you the $50. Make people laugh. Be funny on a stage, and you'll be good to go.
Tell jokes and seem like a relatable person. Done.
You know where you can learn all of this shit is by doing an open mic and realizing, oh, hey, mate, they didn't laugh. Maybe my timing and delivery were off. Maybe I should make eye contact with people. I think that takes about one lesson, Dat.
Well, that homeless guy that's just in his underpants got more laughs than me. What happened?
I want to take one of these classes so badly. I got to learn.
Is he still doing them?
I don't know if he does them over Zoom anymore because he doesn't have to. And remember, Craig, I don't know if you heard this. It's all about energy.
Oh my God. You should buy 10 classes. On the last class, just start fiddling with your blind.
I take my sunglasses off.
No, you put them on.
No, he didn't see me with them on. That's the thing.
Oh.
I'm like, well.
No, just how your cane folds up
Yeah.
on the
I
last
just
class.
slowly unfold it.
Just dramatically unfold it. You go, no.
Hold it right here. Dad, you may notice I'm not making eye contact with you.
No,
I think
I
it would be-
understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you have a heightened level of observation skills.
No.
It's almost like a sixth sense.
Nope, because he goes, I had ice cream. Woohoo!
Guys, there's a Chick-fil-A here. What an observation. The town you're in has a fast food restaurant.
Without looking, you could say that anywhere you do stand up.
And they'll be like, it's a few miles out of town, but okay, we'll go with them.
Yeah.
That you're looking at people and you're reading them to understand maybe what approach to take with them. It
Yes.
sounds
They
like.
used to say this about Jerry Seinfeld, like at the peak of the show, that Jerry Seinfeld could just look at a water bottle and make it funny.
Yeah.
I think that's what Dat Phan is like, His observation skills are so great. For example, here's something he observed, and I learned this going to his comedy show. People that are from Vietnam, they come over here and they learn the language, but they still got that accent.
Didn't even think of that.
That's pretty observant.
Yeah.
To suggest that a foreigner, I mean, they'll learn English, but you're going to be able to tell they're not from this country. That's pretty observant.
I just rewound this clip a little bit because
Thank God.
only because it's not even for Dad, it's for the lady who's like still confused, but listen to her trying to just repeat back what he said.
Trying to wrap her mind around all this.
And you're reading them to understand maybe what approach to take with them. It
Yes.
sounds like.
It sounds like.
Either that or I'm on LSD. One of the two. I don't know what's going on.
If not, I'm gonna have to cancel this. This is just. I have a
This is
family.
exhausting. This, by the way, is all taken from a 2-hour podcast.
Yes. This next one is called "Stop Blowing Our Minds, Dad."
It's enough already. How much Dad? Don't you want to get us into your classes? You're gonna spoil it all on day one.
And when you're ready, I actually learned something else that's very important when I teach.
When you're ready, hey Natalie, take a few breaths, would you? Recuperate. Are you ready? Okay, now I'll begin.
And when you're ready, I actually learned something else that's very important when I teach. What I discovered that I didn't know when I just did stand up only. You want to know what that secret is?
Yes, yes. Any secrets?
I believe.
Please say something of substance.
Please do something. I just need 30 seconds for social
And
media.
for the love of God, yes, something interesting, please, Dad.
Oh, please, finally, let's start now.
All right, now I'm recording.
Believe that for every person there is a destiny. I didn't believe that before I started teaching stand-up.
Wow.
She doesn't give a shit.
You guys can't see it. I don't have my usual slippers on today, and my socks blew right off. It was crazy. It was fucking wild.
I have a wedgie now. Listen to her try to fake enthusiasm at the end here. I was enjoying leaving her reactions in.
Dad, slow the fuck down. Eye contact, timing, I can't even remember all of them. Now you're telling us things happen for a reason?
You watched Gladiator and was inspired. But listen to her just fake enthusiasm.
This is not at all shallow bullshit that he got in a self-help book.
Yeah, Dad, you're also like high energy, and you're supposed to be transferring it to this lady, and it doesn't seem like she has any.
I did not believe that before I started teaching stand-up.
Wow.
Okay. Bore us with this for the next few minutes.
Thomas Dixon, $1.99. Stuttering John looks like an old woman.
I have heard that. I've heard he's grown his hair out and he looks very pale.
I guess he's live right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
He actually did it, huh?
Yeah. I was getting so fucking mad at him.
I was going to have you look because I knew they said 1 o'clock. So whenever we got to the Stuttering John Shuley segment, I was going to have you look first to see if he was live. Guys, clip anything interesting that happens that you want us to react to and let us know. I'm sure we're losing viewers because of Chad and Stuttering John, but
actually, no, it's gone up.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe it's boring over there. I don't know.
That's what Hackride dipped out, checked on it. I think he was going to look to see if we should.
Well, I think I said this to Hackride. It feels like diminishing returns on this stuff, right? Yeah, like if Stuttering John keeps going on Chad's show and just keeps saying Kumi is a pedophile and Carl's gay.
No. This is not Chad's show. This is John's show.
Oh, he's just on his own.
Chad's his first guest.
Okay, all right. Then I think my argument stands.
Yes. I
don't know if guest Chad is going to add a lot more than host Chad.
Well, he's got a destiny.
All right. Yeah. Let's guys, if you find anything we should react to, let us know. But for now, we're going to focus on debt.
We still got a lot of debt left.
Yeah.
This is called blissful lack of self-awareness.
This, and I think this is what's kept the gun out of Dat's mouth for the last 20 years.
This is why I say that. Let's say I have a student, right? I'm just going to use a female student as an example, but I have male and female students.
Hey, I got plenty of students, male, female, and otherwise. All right, I got a lot of students.
Keep saying, "Hey, so and so, I think you have really great."
Hold on. Go back. I'm going to say it's a female student, so he's preparing us like I have male and female students. I'm going to gender this person for the sake of brevity and getting through this. Hey, so and so. Yeah, why did you specify their gender? Just say it was a student. Who gives a fuck?
This is why
I don't want you guys to be confused when I do this analogy. It's a girl. Oh, so and so. I know you guys are picturing a set of tits and a tight box on her because her name is so and so.
He did almost catch hands from Justin because of the flash. So.
Oh, maybe he wants to be clear with everyone.
And you were right. It was Dat Phan.
What was Dat Phan?
The flash joke.
Oh, yeah. I thought so.
this is why I say that. Let's say I have a female, like a student, right? I'm just going to use a female student as an example, but I have male and female students. And I keep saying, hey, so-and-so, I think you have really great potential with stand-up comedy. And I really believe it with all of my heart as their coach. So then I would train her and all that stuff. But after a while, no matter how much I train her, she starts doing other things. That's not gonna
Can you believe that? Someone under Dat Phan's tutelage was like, I'm gonna have to shake things up here because this ain't cutting the mustard.
I spent money on this class, and honestly, it set me back.
I gotta try almost anything else
No.
to try and offset this utter waste of time I've paid for.
capable of. Like she just decides to show up late or not show up at all, or kind of do things her own way, which I can't control. I'm not trying to control that. But in the end, no matter what, if I believe in the student more than they do, and they're not really going that direction that I'm trying to recommend as a pro to do this to get to that point, I believe maybe it's her destiny that she's meant to not make it in stand-up comedy.
Dad, for a moment, apply that to yourself if you wouldn't mind. Could you say that maybe if you had the opportunity that the NBC spotlights were on you in the year 2003, and you haven't had any better opportunities in comedy since then, not one single one, and now you're driving around the country playing the 40-person rooms and teaching energy to comedy students, did you for a moment think, maybe this isn't for me?
I think his wife signed up for the class 2 weeks before this interview. That's all that was. I'm on his side.
I'm not going to say her name. It is a female, but I have many other students.
If I ran this show, I'd force Mike to pause and go to John Live plus 300 YouTube subs. But hey, I'm just dreaming.
Here's the thing: is I've been so against
streaming.
Sniping
is gay. I said it.
I'm not a fan. It's just me stealing. Like they should have all the viewers of that show, Correct. And then we can break it down after.
Stream sniping is stupid.
Yeah, to me, like, believe me, I'd like to because we can make fun of John and Chad for 20 minutes or an hour, whatever it takes,
or enjoy the show. Who knows?
But yeah, here's my thing. Go watch the show. Maybe if it's worth it, maybe we'll break it down in the next episode. If it's crazy worth it, maybe we'll hop on tomorrow or something and do an episode. But to me, it's like, let them do the show. They deserve all those views. That's why, like I think I said this to Shuli when I was on with him. Like, I get that he has some vendetta against Chad or John or whoever, and that's why he said he was stream sniping them.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if 3,000 people are going to watch Kevin Brennan live, he deserves all 3,000 of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if all those people are interested in watching that, and then Shuli, me, Carl, fucking Steel Toe, whoever's going to talk about it, can talk about it afterward. That's how I look at it. But
is Steel Toe still around? I haven't seen them in a while.
I reached out. I assume Brian Johnson did not think it was a good idea because he didn't respond to me. But I messaged Brian Johnson because remember how I've been saying I'd like someone to make the argument for why we should shit on Steel Toe?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm open to that idea. I just don't know enough about them. He was dumping all over them on WATP. So I messaged him and was like, hey, if you think there's enough to like make fun of Aaron for, would you want to come on and like tell us? And he just didn't respond. So
Craig thinks Chris Kyle is gay. Let the record show. Stream sniping, not actual sniping.
Yeah, Craig did go and heckle that movie.
It's a great.
This is all bullshit. Chris Kyle was a liar.
Yeah, Brian Johnson. People watch you on the program.
Yeah, come on, Brian.
Come on.
Unless you think it's a bad idea, then don't worry. Or you've done it elsewhere, then don't worry about it.
Come on and talk about something else. Who cares?
Yeah, I'd have Brian Johnson on for whatever.
He seems like a swell fella. Oh my God, there's so much more Dat Phan.
Is there really? How many more clips do we have?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more.
Oh, good Lord. We're only halfway through them?
Yes.
All right, let's plow ahead here. We did start early specifically for... Oh, and can you do this? Just make a note. Timestamp the different segments when we move to other subjects.
I can't this time.
Well, when we do, like, we'll go on to other things after this.
Okay.
So I just make a note when we do that, because someone messaged me about that, and I do think that's smart to do, because we're doing such long shows now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess Dat Phan until we're hour 23 in right now.
Yeah.
So it's been Dat Phan the whole time.
Skip ahead 2 hours.
Oh, this is a great one.
What's that?
PTSD.
Oh my god. So he had an instant. So Natalie goes on this 40-minute rant about trauma. She didn't want to like come right out and say it, but it sounded like there was a sexual assault involved or something like that. And Dat tells a story about how he was held at gunpoint once, which I think it's something he should be talking about on stage instead of how crazy it is that his mother has an accent.
Well, the thing is, though, if he has to talk about it for too long, it'll come out that it would never happen.
Well, that's who knows. I wasn't there. Who am I to say? But he might have PTSD. Now, these are his views on things like that.
Do you have any aftermath of that? Like, did you develop any sort of PTSD or have?
Oh yeah,
You did.
well, I developed PTSD before it was a common theme, that everybody said.
I'm an OG PTSD.
You know, before World War II veterans.
You know, the Civil War when people weren't sure where anyone was.
You know, I was kind of the first guy to get PT. They actually call it Dat Phan disease, much like Lou Gehrig. In my honor, they say, "Oh my God, that 1,000-yard stare. You must have Dat Phan syndrome." That's actually when you've just been to a Dat Phan show. You get that look on your face for the rest of your life.
Yeah, why am I alone?
What is this all for? What is this about?
Maybe the medical people,
Right.
because like later on in the year.
Oh, go back. I'm sorry. You learned about it for everyone except maybe who?
Did you develop any sort of PTSD or have?
Oh yeah.
You did.
Well, I developed PTSD before it was a common theme, that everybody said. Like before anybody called it PTSD, except for maybe the medical people.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe medical people, which I call doctors. maybe medical people were onto it before Dat.
He seems like the guy that goes to like the middle of the woods in Vermont and he's like, this guy knows medicine.
Medical people. It was me and then medical people. And then all those people that have been in war were like, hey, something weird is going on since I've gotten back.
Me and the medical they thems.
Right.
Because like later on in the year 2009, 2010, like there's all these phrases, PTSD,
Right.
and today there's woke, and there's like all
Nope, those are not the same, Dat.
What a fucking idiot. So he thinks PTSD is an identity?
Yeah. This is Dat trying to relate to Craig, actually. Hey, PTSD is just like those woke pussies, right? Right, guys?
People choosing to walk down the street and hear like a fucking nail gun and go, ah!
Yeah. A guy who's held his buddy's severed head in combat and will never shake that image. That's kind of like saying, like, they, them instead of he, hers.
That's kind of like supporting commies. It's the same thing.
Say like words that we didn't have back then, right?
Woke.
PTSD is not new. Woke, I'll give you. That's relatively new.
It's woke. It's
PTSD, it's that new thing.
yeah. It's just like all these woke Iraq war vets.
Desert Storm did a number on my neighbor. I didn't realize he was a PTSD pussy.
Robert O'Neill, that woke pussy.
Around 1999, going, oh, dude, you're so woke.
Right.
Or,
Now, wait, bit alert. Hold on. Was this all just a shoehorn a bit about wokeness in Dat?
You're so PTSD.
Yeah.
Marcus Luttrell, who watched 3 of his best friends die savagely in front of him, is just being a fucking loser.
Yeah. PTSD, brain cancer, wokeness, they're all one.
Yeah.
mansplaining and all that. We didn't have those terms.
Mansplaining?
So
Go back. How did we get here?
He's comparing.
Yeah.
I can't do this guy. He fucking sucks so much.
So it's basically like like say your grandfather was in the Air Force during World War II. And you talk to him about those stories, and he kind of gets that look in his face, like he's drifting off. He's not even in the room with you anymore. He's back in combat. It's like that. There's PTSD, and then there's a guy trying to tell his girlfriend the rules of baseball. Those are kind of the same. Like those are veterans of the same battle, basically. PTSD and mansplaining.
The fact that you can, with a straight face, say that PTSD is a fucking choice.
Yeah.
Basically.
After Cullinane visited Erica Nardini for the first time, she got PTSD. That's what it was all. It was all one great trauma.
Yeah.
Mansplaining.
We didn't have those terms back then.
Yes, you
right?
did.
So
PTSD, you did.
I literally was walking without knowing what PTSD was, because I'm not like a former Navy SEAL or not some type of former Marine or anything
I believe
like that.
you told us
I'm
something
not in the
different in a
military at
couple
all.
weeks.
I'm walking around as a civilian, and I keep thinking in my mind that everybody that I see on the streets has a gun.
Well, they don't. Rest assured, that you're fine.
And honestly, if there was a place like that, I'd move there in 2 seconds.
Like he's John Lennon being followed by someone with Catcher in the Rye in their hand. Ah, you must be after my fame and fortune.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew what PTSD was first, guys, just so you know.
Is this him talking about therapy?
Well, believe me, you've heard his thoughts on wokeness. Imagine what his thoughts on therapy were. Pussies like me that go to therapy.
Did you ever get to talk to a professional about it?
No, and I hate to sound racist. I don't mean to, but I love white people. My wife is white. I think white people are beautiful.
Hey, hold the racism, Dad. Don't say you love us so much.
I love you. I mean it. But
my wife is white. Imagine having to say that sentence. How racist are you going to be, Dad?
I've experienced that with, but white people, therapists is a very white people thing. Like they go and see they find a way to get like even a $50 therapist somewhere, like in training. I think in Asian culture, we just try to work through it, which is probably not good because there's a lot of mental illness within the Asian community.
San Francisco,
and they don't see therapists. Think about it. How often do you see an Asian therapist with Asians seeing Asian therapists? Like if you go to like Orange,
I don't see anyone in therapy except myself. Hey, Doc, who are you meeting with at noon? Let me check in on this.
Not very many group sessions.
Well, I did when I went to the program for the thing I was in for blindness, basically. We did group therapy there, and now that you mention it, there was an Asian guy actually. So this theory's out the window. He was blind though, so who knows? I don't know where that ranks on DAT's fucking racism scale. If you're blind and Asian, are you allowed to go to therapy?
Clayton Bigsby, he thought he was white. He sure wasn't.
That's true.
Right.
No, there's no therapy going on there.
So you're the founder of PTSD, and you never thought it was a good idea to maybe go to therapy?
The founder.
You're the forefather of post-traumatic stress syndrome, and you never thought to yourself, or disorder, whatever the fuck it is, and you never thought to yourself, maybe I should get into a bit of therapy.
Give it a go.
Clearly, it's like if this story that clearly probably never happened is true, then hey, how do I get over this? Maybe to go to some therapy instead of just having a wacky bit about how therapy's for white people.
Yeah, no. Dad went to the beach and a kid with a squirt gun walked by, and he just made a scene.
It's even like if your argument was for that it's a privileged thing because like poor people don't have that kind of money and so they have to work through their problems. If that was your point, I'll give you. I don't think it divides racial lines.
No, I will say it's probably like 78% white people that go.
But again, I think that's a lot of cultural things going on there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I imagine there's a few Asians in therapy.
This is a callback to Destiny. This podcast was Destiny.
Oh, good. Hey guys, you were thinking it must be kismet that these two got together. Thank God Natalie and Dat got together. So like I told you, Natalie's been through trauma, Dat's been through trauma, but it was all for a worthy cause. Thank God. Hey, thank God Natalie got raped, and Dat is about to tell us why.
Yeah, actually, I have 3 quick answers to that. The last one's kind of comedic, but like what you were talking
us any
about is
promises.
the
We'll
first
see.
answer is it seems that both you and I could have died back in
Yes.
2001, 2002, around the same
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Had we died, one of us, we obviously would not have re-met each other recently the last few days, right?
Right.
So that's another example of me believing in destiny, that we were meant to go through that. Not that I want any trauma on either of us, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that we had to work through it and get to where we are today,
Right.
we're rewarded by being able to work with each other.
Natalie, after that horrible experience, aren't you glad that you at least lived through it to talk to Dat Phan for an hour and a half?
Guy's hitting her over the head with a pipe, and she's like, "I'll see Dad again."
This will be a story that Dad will enjoy.
He would love this. PTSD is a lie.
It probably almost makes the rape enjoyable because she's like, someday Dad will really like. I haven't met him yet. I don't even know that he exists, but it'll result in a pretty good story for him to spew his energy bullshit.
Speaking of red energy, baby.
Oh, we might have some red energy. Let's hear it. What's red energy?
Republican pride. I don't know.
There's something I teach and I study in stand-up comedy when I have private sessions where I call it red energy. And the red energy is the anger, the frustration, the type of energy that was triggering you from that one actor that was cussing. But then you go and you proved a good point, because the other actor who was cussing,
Right.
my belief is he was emitting blue energy. Even though he
My
was
God.
frustrated, there's not hostile intentions of harm coming out of that person.
Right.
And that's why when I teach stand-up or when I practice it, I try to practice the energy wavelength of the proper balance of energy to the audience so that they don't feel I'm a hostile threat in which they won't laugh.
Right. I love what you just said, and especially love that you said blue energy.
We all do. We all do, Natalie. We're all very excited about it.
She's
So
like,
he's gone from ripping off self-help books to now, I guess, just ripping off the Matrix. Is that what this teaching is?
yeah, red pill.
You can get red pilled or blue pilled, basically.
Yeah. Next we must have red energy.
Yeah, well, I think based on what is red energy, didn't fully explain it there, I don't think, but based on his views of us, our energy may be fading a little red.
I've dealt with comedians where I didn't realize till it was too late as I was trying to recruit or audition them. And
Too
it's
late.
energy. And when he or she, unfortunately, usually it's he, starts firing at me, and I'm like just yelling at me or just being upset, I'm like, oh my God, I could feel the red come through the screen right now.
Wow.
I could feel. I was
Hold on,
like,
you can tell the kind of guy Dad is too. That he goes, unfortunately, it's usually he. It's like, what? How does that add to the story?
It's just the guy screaming about how much money he wasted when he realizes that he's not learning a
It's
fucking
probably
thing.
that his female students are just more polite and are just like, no, we'd rather not show up today. Whereas a guy is like, you've stolen my money.
I have a kid
I want to strangle you because you have robbed me.
to death.
it's bad news
Wow.
with this guy, and then I have to get rid of them fast because I don't want to stay connected to that type of energy, because there's
Oh.
tens of thousands of comedians out there.
I hate crystal people.
So a good chunk of them could be red energy.
Yeah.
Now you just got to keep it out of them. But you notice my mics, they're very private. They're very private type shows. Even the public people can watch. I only allow certain types of comedians to come through. Otherwise, you end up getting really bad energy coming through.
Oh, now we're learning a little bit. He doesn't like red energy in his shows.
He's a fucking loser.
I wonder if that means, does Tom have red energy? Because he was making us laugh.
He does.
That's the wrong kind of comedy, I guess. But imagine this positivity bullshit that he seems to be preaching, where he's like, there were 6 guys that came to his show, or 5 guys, whatever it was, that showed up at his show purely to laugh even at things that weren't funny. Like, that's how supportive we were. And he's like, we got to get that out of here.
Yeah, no, it wasn't 5 guys that showed up to the show. It was just a restaurant he pointed out on the same street.
There's a Pinkberry here? Who would have thought?
Jeez.
Oh, Christ. If there was a McDonald's on that street. Imagine, remember Super Size Me, guys?
Yeah, you might still be there. This next one is called Time Well Spent.
All right, let's see what this is.
Like, you have it clearly really functioning well. You've got 11 shows a week you're producing. That's
It's
a
very
lot.
kind of you. No, it's very kind of you. You know, and I work 16-hour days on these shows because I believe it. That's what it comes down to.
How?
Hold on. Do you know what he's talking about?
His Zoom open mics?
Yeah. So for anyone that's wondering, 16 hours, what could go into that? He's setting up the Zoom room, and I assume setting up his camera and maybe like booking those shows takes some time, like just scheduling everything. I cannot imagine it takes 16 hours.
It might finally to get like someone to actually agree to do it.
16-hour days every day, Craig?
Yeah, just going, please come on the show. And they're like, no,
But that's not even time. That's texting someone. That's not a work day.
Yeah, he's lying about everything. I thought we established this.
16-hour days. How does anyone do it then? Like, how are there actual, never mind Zoom shows, how are there real open mics? There aren't enough hours in the day.
Not even close. You still got to drive there and figure
So that essentially, assuming he has a normal sleep schedule, he sleeps and works on Zoom shows. Well, that's why I called this time well spent. I mean, that is just putting his time to work, and it is valuable time. That's for sure.
Believe in what I'm doing,
Yes.
and I believe in teaching. I believe in comedy. I believe in transferring energy, and
Heard.
I believe in having the right people in the production.
It'd be great if at this point in the interview, Natalie was like, "Whoa, transferring energy. What do you mean?
Oh, did you not hear that?
What's that? No, you haven't mentioned it yet."
All right, this is the last fucking clip of Dat Phan,
Whew, we got that, baby.
and it's called the James Bond of Zoom comedy.
Oh, this is where I told Hack Ride to be ready, because in our world, we're building up. These videos take time, so as time goes on, we'll have more and more characters. I think Dat Phan, Brendan Schaub may not be the only superhero in our world. Brendan Schaub is Batman.
Yeah.
Because Dat's about to tell us how he's kind of like the James Bond of comedy.
Or like the James Bond, where if I'm weaponized, I know what to do with the weapon as far as OBS software or whatever it is, right? But I need a cue. I need her or someone that knows how the weapon works as far as comedy.
Right.
So then I can.
Do you know what he's talking about here?
How to run a Zoom show?
Yes, he's saying that he's James Bond. So he's the, suave, debonair, funny man that's going to come in and kill us all with laughter. But he needs his weaponry, which is the internet and a microphone.
Do I want a gun that fits in my shoe? Absolutely not. But give me some OBS.
That's how every comedian thinks. Like I've heard some comics say, like, what's nice about comedy is it's just me and a microphone. That's not true. Those guys are lazy. It's you, a microphone, and Morgan Freeman from The Dark Knight Rises, where he's building all this technology for you.
That microphone he's actually talking into right now is full of M80s.
But I'm the weapon user. I'm not the guy that knows how to design the weapons.
Kind of like you would hold the
How
gun.
about the weapons in this dumb analogy are your jokes, Dat? How about you use those, detonate those once in a while, set a joke or two off.
A joke landmine. Whoa, laughter.
Someone else load it.
Yes, or someone go, where do I get these bullets from? Or wait, what? How does the gun work? Okay, so then I'll know how to use the gun well, but I need the gun to come from somewhere.
This guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, that's guys. I think that's guys. Why like Andrew Schultz brings such a big team with him when he travels. He has like an entourage, because one of those guys must be like Andrew Schultz would know what the fuck to do if he's talking to a microphone. He needs his technician to load those bullets into the gun.
Hackride said Dat's OBS versus Alex iPad.
See, Alec might have to hire Dat to help him with this technology.
Yeah.
That's a diabolical squad.